Mandela Effect, and we're going to be asking the question, is it bleeding over into a physical reality now? We have a couple of discussion points we'll talk about there. First, I wanted to just cover a couple other things that were in the news the past couple days that I haven't had a chance to put a video out about, but I thought were worthy of discussing. Definitely Buzz Aldrin being evacuated from Antarctica 2 days ago. So if you didn't hear, Buzz Aldrin was down in Antarctica. Don't know what he was doing down in Antarctica at his age, but they had to evacuate him out. He had some type of medical issue, so they had to send in an evacuation team, get him out of there. Now, what is a former astronaut who's been to the moon doing in Antarctica? And a lot of you know that right now there's a big thing on YouTube and in the community. When I say the community, I mean kind of the conspiracy community, the community who watches things like Planet X and the Mandela Effect and Flat Earth and things like that. But Flat Earth has been getting really a lot of attention lately. And there seems to be a lot of movement going on down there with troops from different countries, and there seems to be a lot of conjecture about if the South Pole is actually a pole or if it's not just a wall keeping us in, and then there being some other land on the other side. Now, if you're familiar with the Admiral Byrd interview, or if you're familiar with Admiral Byrd's story, you know that he has traveled, well, he did travel beyond the South Pole a long time ago. This is back in the 1940s, late 40s, early 50s. He went down to the South Pole. He actually went twice. Said he found a continent that is down there, and it is at least the size of the United States, probably bigger, and it is, again, like untouched, unspoiled, land of milk and honey type of place, the way he describes it. Very much green, not frozen, very much usable, and very valuable land. So, if you haven't had a chance to watch his interview, you need to definitely do that, because that is one of the most compelling pieces of news footage, I think, in existence.
Because of modern techniques, or is danger still close at hand?
Well, it's a little risky, but nothing like it used to be with the old slow planes and the small cruising radius where we had to put down bases. We replaced the dog teams, and of course that was a big improvement. But now the planes go much faster and they are safer, and they have a much bigger cruising radius. You haven't got the danger of a terribly heavy load.
Admiral, an expedition to which I believe you're the advisor is now en route. What is that expedition doing?
Well, that's the icebreaker Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
Is that very definitely planned, or is that...
that is being planned right now. So I'm willing to say to you that there will be a number of expeditions that will follow, I think, year after year, to the bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
Well, Admiral Byrd, I can understand. I think everybody can, the interest in the North Pole, because it's so near our greatest challenger, Soviet Russia. But why this interest in the bottom of the world? Nobody living down there, is there?
No, it's pretty cold. There's only one permanent resident, that's the emperor penguin. The little ones live further north. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And You know, as the world shrinks with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful.
This interview with Admiral Byrd is compelling on that level. You know, it's the Earth-changing level of compelling. So, with that said, we'll talk a little bit about this cold front that's blowing in. Right now it's percolating up in Canada. The average temperature across the U.S. will be 36 below its normal temperature. So if your normal temperature for this time of year is, say, 35, 36 degrees, then you will be hovering right around zero. If you are normally around, say, 45 or 50 or so, then you'll be right around 15 degrees. So it's going to be very, very, very cold next week. And that goes into Earth heading into this little ice age. They've been saying it for a long time now. We may be heading into a little ice age. We know we're in a Maunder minimum, where the sun is putting out minimal activity, which means less solar flares, less activity coming from the sun, which means it will be cooler on Earth and on the surrounding planets. So that, coupled with the fact that many of us believe that we have witnessed pole shift already. Many of us are seeing the effects of the sun being in a different place in the sky than we are used to. I have clips here, a few clips from this gentleman down in Australia who has noticed this. It's a very compelling video because he shows the sun being up much later than it should be. The sun should not be out an hour after sunset. You should not be able to look around and it be daylight outside, but yet it is. And I'm noticing things here in my own yard. I used to get sunlight all day long in this one particular area of my yard, and now I get it for about 45 minutes in the morning, and then the sun literally does not touch it. It's literally in the shade the rest of the day. There is another user who has contacted me that is experiencing the very same thing. They sent me some pictures. Unfortunately, in this case, pictures don't really do us a whole lot of good unless it's like, like 9 o'clock at night, and then you can still see the sun up above the horizon or something like that, or it's really, really, really light out still and it's 9 o'clock at night. That might be something that we can illustrate with a picture, but unfortunately, pictures of my backyard being overshadowed with with shadow and not getting sunlight isn't going to prove anything, isn't going to show anybody anything. So that's kind of one of those things that's kind of hard to prove. However, we can do that by getting opinions of the people all over the place and seeing who is experiencing changes in their sunlight and where they believe the sun should be, and see if we can pinpoint that to a particular region or figure out what's going on with that. So we're going to take a look at this gentleman's videos. We will be right back after we take a look at those.
G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Monday the 28th 11th 2016 and the time is 13:38 PM WAST. Okay, sunset in Perth is currently 7:05 PM. Why am I telling you that? Well, last night I texted everybody in the WA group and said go outside at 8 o'clock and have a look at the sun still being up. And what I meant by that was you could still clearly see the horizon at 8 o'clock at night. Now, as I just said, the sun is supposed to go down at 7:05 PM, which it pretty well does and did. But the difference is that we're now having a massive time lapse between when it goes down and keeps on staying up. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, so now that we see that this phenomenon is happening all over the place, my question is, could this be the Mandela Effect in its next phase? The first phase was to get us doubting our own memories. We doubt the way we remember movie lines. We doubt the way we remembered shoes or cereal or cartoons, the spellings of certain things, logos and things like that. So once that phase was complete, now they can start changing other things, or other things are starting to change, and we've already become accustomed to accepting these changes. So now that we're seeing changes in the amounts of sunlight that we're getting, or where the sun is in the sky, as compared to where we should normally think that it is, are people just accepting this and moving on because we've been accustomed to this change already? So that is my theory at this point, and I would like to get some feedback from you guys. I'd like to know what you think. Do you believe that this could be the second part of the Mandela Effect, this second phase where we're now seeing physical changes in the Earth, just like the maps? I think the maps changing was definitely a phase two. The first part was all movie lines, or seemingly anyway, movie lines, someone who was dead that you thought wasn't, the basic Mandela Effect things, Luke, I'm your father, no, I'm your father, that type of thing. Magic mirror on the wall, mirror, mirror on the wall, how we all remember mirror, mirror, obviously, or most of us anyway, but yet it's magic mirror. So that being the first phase, the maps changing, where South America is way further out into the Atlantic than it used to be. Australia is way closer to Asia than it used to be. Many changes that we've noticed on the maps. Many people remember Korea being in southern Asia. I certainly do. I remember it being down near Vietnam, not up above China. So that is just, one of those. Now that, since I'm not a student of geography, was always good with geography, and certainly with history and things like that. History and geography kind of go hand in hand. If you're interested in history and knowing where the history happened, then obviously geography, you'd be probably pretty good at that. But for me, history and geography go hand in hand anyway, so I've always been pretty good at it, but I'm not like a major in it. I'm not, I didn't study it, so I can't say that I absolutely 1000% remember Korea being below China, but my gut instinct tells me it was below China. It was down near Vietnam. That's where I remember it being. That's where I would have pointed to on the map if anybody had asked me a couple months ago, where's Korea, where's the Koreas, North and South Korea. I would have pointed right around Vietnam, maybe Laos, that type of area. But I would not have pointed to where it is on the map now. So with those things changing, are we experiencing physical changes, physical shifts in our reality caused by the Mandela Effect to God knows what end? That is the question of the day. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. One other thing that I'll say before I go is YouTube seemingly has changed the way that they promote videos and things. So videos that have interactions are being promoted more. So if you guys don't mind, man, either like the video or dislike it, or but please either like or dislike and leave a comment, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter. You have every right to your opinion as anybody else. So whatever your opinion is, we'd love to hear it, and it certainly would help with the channel. It'll help us to bring you more content and bring it more often if we are able to get the content out there. They certainly seem to be leaning towards the more comments and the more either thumbs up or thumbs down, that a video is getting, then it's promoted over other videos. So anyway, that would be awesome if we can get some help with that. We really appreciate everything you guys do, and appreciate all the emails and the sincere thoughts and stuff that you guys send. Appreciate the pictures, especially the picture of the city in the sky the other day. That was huge. You know, being able to put that out here on our channel first was really, really awesome, and we certainly appreciate that to our user there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Get in the comment box, let me know what you think. Is this part of is the Mandela Effect switching over into the physical world? Is it bleeding into the physical dimension? Are we seeing physical changes due to the Mandela Effect? That's the question for the day. So talk to you soon.